good morning, everyone. Coach Hamley coming at you on this beautiful Friday morning. Heading east out to Eaton Rapids for a doubleheader. And yeah, didn't get to you yesterday. I might have to throw on the shades. Heading east right into the sun. Just one of those days. Game middle of the day, family stuff in the morning, hitting lessons, and then dedicated family time in the evening, which it's been nice with this. I guess we're still kind of under the quarantine, but it really has taught me a lot more about just how I manage my time. So, really prioritizing being present, being focused with my wife and kids when I'm around, especially as a baseball coach. There's just so many moving parts, always on the go, as I am right now. Got about an hour, 15-minute drive in front of me, which gives me plenty of time to think, talk with you, and just get the day going. I don't mind these morning car rides. I don't mind getting up early and being on the open road. Pretty clear, smooth sailing this morning once the wheels went up. And yeah, get to coach 2 games today. So with that, let's begin. I figured today be a little bit of a combination, Thursday thoughts, Friday focus, to bring you into the weekend. Since I wasn't with you yesterday, and we'll call this episode 73, a little hybrid, Thursday thoughts, Friday focus. And if you've been with me this week, it's been along the lines of the taste, no talents, the things that every human being can do. And I apologize when the sun comes out from behind the trees like that, but it is what it is. And just really controlling what we can control. I talked about that to my guys yesterday. We lost a close game, and really it came down to some pretty molecular things, as I call them. Baseball, those of you who are baseball people, or not, we understand in baseball and life, it's really never just one big moment that defines us, one moment that changes everything. We think it is, however, it's really the little details, right? The devil is in the detail. Getting up every day, making your bed, brushing your teeth, getting a little exercise in, doing a little reading, doing a little reflecting. That sets the table for success. So, controllables, pitchers throw strikes, catchers catch the ball, fielders make routine plays, batters make good contact on good pitches over the plate. It's a simple game that we choose to complicate, as is life. Do the little things, control what you can control, and everything will generally turn out all right, okay? And if it doesn't go your way, it's just a learned opportunity. So, I'm trying to stay linear here. So control what you can control, and the taste, no talents. Now, we just had an announcement made at Calvin where fall sports are going to look a lot different than they would be with status quo, where there's not going to be conference games, and fall sports teams are going to have the option at Calvin, and I believe a few other MIAA schools are going to do this too, where they can play out of conference teams so they can at least have some type of game activity. Now, I bring this up because also as an educator, I'm sure this fall is going to look very different than any fall I've ever been a part of, including when my oldest, my son, was born on the first day of school, and my students had a substitute for the first week. Okay? So control what you can control. And it's not on the Takes No Talents. There's that list of 10 I've gone over. I've posted it before. I won't bore you with going through it. You can look it up. Just type in Takes No Talents, TNTs. However, I would say control what you can control should be on that list as well. And adaptability. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people this fall who are just lost in the sauce. And I feel for them. I really do. I understand these are unprecedented times. There's a lot of worry, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. People are sick, people are losing jobs, people have been furloughed, people have had hours reduced. I get it, and they're very valid. It's tough stuff. However, I'm a big believer that we have to play the mental game. We have to play the game within the game. If we get caught up in the things that we perceive as negative, excuse me, loss of job, diminished health, or just things playing out not going the way you thought or hoped they would go, if we get caught up in those, we're just going to be miserable. We have to find a way. If you're a fall athlete and your fall sport gets canceled, if it gets banged, if it's postponed, if it's hybrid, if it's something that you weren't expecting, nothing you can do about it whatsoever. Find the good. What can you do? What are you going to do about it? It's not going to change. A great example is me. I up through my freshman year of high school, I was a 3-sport athlete. I guess kind of 4. I ran track every now and then. They told me to show up and just run the mile because I was pretty good at running the mile. However, I remember, it was my sophomore year. Tried out. I'd been to all the summer lifting, all the summer camps, the varsity basketball coach, just kind of would have nice little conversations with me, and I felt like I had a good shot to make the JV squad. However, I got cut. And that was probably the greatest thing that ever happened in my life. Maybe not at that time I felt that way. However, that was really, I believe, somebody looking out for me. I try to be a man of faith, and I try not to talk about it too much. I try to just act on it. However, looking back as an adult now, in hindsight, I truly believe that was him guiding me in the right direction. Okay, I'll explain that here in a minute. So I get cut. Reason being, Pam, you're just too small. At that point, I probably was maybe 5'4", 5, maybe even 5'6", probably a $120, $125, soaking wet. And there was a couple other guys who were about those same dimensions. And this coach, and I love this coach. He's a good dude. Actually, kind of a family friend. He just said, hey man, there's just, we got a couple guys about the same dimensions. You're on the smaller end. I'm sorry, but there's not a roster spot for you. And I just remember feeling mad first, because that's kind of what my psyche goes to first, is anger. And then disappointment, because I knew that I was not going to be around that group of friends for 3 months. And, we're still friends. However, they're doing their thing after school. It's not a clique, but I mean, you just kind of, you hang out with the guys that you were around in that season. So that was probably the most disappointing for me. I'm a big relationship guy, so that stunk. And I remember coming home and telling my dad the news, and this is the greatest thing. And this is, again, a positive. This is why life happens for you, not to you. I got cut for a reason. And then it helped that I have a father. When I told him, I got cut, he said, oh yeah? What'd coach say? Is it your skill? What? And I go, well, a little skill needs to be developed. But really, it was just I'm not big enough right now. And he just kind of gave me a look and says, yeah, you're not really big, man. Look at me, look at your mother. We're not real big people, right? You're like 50% or less Irish. We're not very big people. So right there, I don't know if he meant it to be a conscious or subconscious lesson, but I just learned, there's no excuses. And then it became, what are you going to do about it now? No email, phone call to coach from my parents saying, you wronged my son, this and that. Because even if I made the team or my parents made a phone call or an email and got me on the team, I'm going to be the 15th man off the, right? The 15th man on the roster. So do I want to just sit there on the bench in my warm-up ball game? Maybe if I truly love basketball, but at the end of the day, I really didn't love basketball. I wanted to be there, to be with my buddies. So sophomore year, I had decisions to make. And granted, too, back early 2000s, there just wasn't really the distractions. I mean, every generation has distractions, but we didn't have great cell phones. Video games were pretty good at the time, PlayStation. I think PlayStation 2 was out. But we just didn't really have it at my house growing up. So it became, okay, what do I do now? Okay. Football season, obviously is done. Now I have this span of time between football and baseball. And I'd always been a pretty good baseball player. It just came natural. It came easy. And I dedicated myself to the weight room. I dedicated myself to really perfecting my craft in baseball. I would go down, I'd lift after school. I would then go down to my baseball training facility. And to keep this from going on forever, long story short, I ended up, able to play at a mid-major Division I school after high school. And I don't think that happens if I make the basketball team. I really don't. And then I told you about how he intervened, right? This is, I can only control what I can control. I get cut, I get in the weight room, I get better at baseball, even better than where I was, become, one of the better players on the team. I don't say that to be braggadocious, but I'm just, putting in the work, putting in the time. And I'll say this too, I wasn't overly talented in baseball. It was just more so understanding the game, understanding what tools and skills that I brought to the game. Okay, again, it takes no talents. Things like hustle, heart, passion, energy, just genuine joy, showing up on time, being coachable, being adaptable. And I tell you all this, again, remember, I'm still staying linear here. Thursday thoughts, Friday focus, control what you can control. Our best ability is adaptability. I just adapted. I didn't sit there and boo-hoo, cry over it. I didn't ask for my parents to validate it and give me excuses. And thank God they didn't, because I don't know what would have happened then if they would have just validated how I had felt as a young man. I felt, sad, wronged, that I got cut. Instead, what are you going to do about it? Okay, you got cut. Good. Move forward. Maybe if you truly want to, go out next year and prove yourself. However, until then, what are you going to do about it? All right, let's get in the weight room. Let's get bigger, faster, stronger. Let's keep working on this pitching, this hitting. So, I'll be the first to admit too. So I get to a Division I mid-major. I was below average at that level. However, again, being put in a position where I can learn from that level that coaching, those kind of dudes, has set the table for where I am now as a 32-year-old man, where baseball has given me so much. Every job I've had post-college has been because of baseball. My first teaching job, my first coaching job, come back home and just, I go back to the facility where I had trained as a kid and was looking to do some hitting lessons or pitching lessons there for them, and maybe even coach a summer team. Cross paths with a guy who had gone to another high school in the area, and then also went up to a mid-major school here in Michigan. And we had always kept in touch. We were both similar dimensions, size-wise, left-handed pitchers, so we always kind of just kept in touch. Would bump into each other at the facility when we were in high school, and he was hanging out there, I think, trying to do kind of the same thing that I was. And he's like, "Ham, there's a school in the area that needs an assistant coach. If you're down, man, you think you want to do something like that?" "Yeah, let's go." So that led to my first coaching job. I shouldn't say first, my second coaching job. My first coaching job came just because purely I was a former Division I ball player, a local high school coach near Eastern Michigan. Came looking for guys who were freshly graduated, and got my name from my coach, and that got the ball rolling there. So then I moved back to West Michigan, where I'm from, and linked up with this other guy who got me an interview, and that was 2012. And now I've been an educator in that district for 8 years. So that coaching job led to a teaching job. That coaching and teaching job has led to me crossing paths with the right people, building great relationships, and now here I am pursuing my dreams and goals of being a college baseball coach. And so I just tell you all this because everything happens for you, not to you, and it's how you adapt. It's how you read the message. It's how you read between the lines. And like I said earlier, I'm not taking away from anyone who feels scared, anxious, depressed. I mean, there's a lot going on right now that's happened in the last 6 months. And I keep seeing a lot of the same posts and hearing the same conversations about how 2020 sucks. Fair? Okay? It's been an interesting year, to say the least. However, I truly believe if you still have warm blood coursing through your veins, air pumping in and out of your lungs, you're still in the fight. Find a way. For the Hamley family, it's been good. We've adapted. We've, that first month, 6 weeks, slowed things down, and really got me focusing more on how I spend my time, because I've told you guys all this before. I'm a self-proclaimed workaholic, and I just grind, and that's it's what got me to where I was, average, above average ball player. It's what got me to the next level, and started working. Here I am giving you this content 73 episodes later. Been blessed to really join on and be more of a part of what Sluggers Sports Academy here in Grand Rapids is doing. Been able to focus on baseball a lot more, dedicate myself to that craft while still thinking about teaching and how I can adapt this fall. And it's not all rainbows and sunshine and puppy dogs, but I tell you, it's been good. It's been real good. And I just tell you all this so you can focus and learn as well. Being adaptable. Your best ability is your adaptability and your availability. And that availability does not come on your terms. I was not ready to be cut my sophomore year of basketball, or in basketball. However, be available for the change. We've talked about the 4 P's. Pause, pivot, create a plan, pursue the plan. I think a lot of people this fall are going to have to pause for a second again. And I guarantee there's going to be a lot of people who go, "Oh, we're pausing again." I mean, today, here we are, July 31st. I just read it yesterday or 2 days ago. We just got another executive order from our governor here in Michigan that bars are closing down. no more than 10 people indoors. You can find the executive order. However, things are changing. What are you going to do about it? Here, the gyms have been closed now for what? Mid-March, April, May, June, July. Almost 5 months, 4.5 months. I hope you're still finding a way to stay in shape, to find an edge, making your own weights. I'm a little weird. I made my own kettlebells out of two old basketballs, PVC pipe, and some concrete. If you want the recipe for that, hit me up. I'll send it your way. It's not my invention. I just, you got to find a way. Order some bands. You can order bands, dirt cheap, like $30. I'd recommend going maybe a little bit better end, high end. I ordered myself some Tribe, guaranteed for life, because those things will snap. So maybe don't cheap out on those. But just find a way. There's tons of at-home workouts posted on YouTube. I mean, there's just Instagram. My goodness, there's just content everywhere. Look up college strength and conditioning coaches and email them. You don't know. Maybe they'll email you back, some kind of workout. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on Twitter. I mean, there's so much free education out there, guys. So much. And I think I have some parents and adults who listen in on this too. Maybe it's a time for you to find, where you can invest more in your true passion or hobby if work is slow right now. I don't know what it looks like for everyone, because it's going to be unique for every individual, how we all go through this together. And I do say together, even though it would appear this is a time of distance being put in between people, physically and figuratively. Find a way to reach out and help your fellow man, build relationships, reach out to people, check in. And I tell you, selfishly, by checking in on other people, making sure they're good, you're going to feel good. Okay? It's way more powerful than doing any good for yourself. That dopamine hit from doing something for yourself is strong, but there's nothing stronger than that human connection. Okay? Those endorphins. So find some kind of way and get out of your own head. I say that a lot to my athletes and my students. Just get out of your own head. And I got to remind myself of that too. We can swim in the pool of negativity that swirls around in our head and stay there, self-loathe, and just let the negativity around us fester. However, find the good, find the learning moments, find the way to get better. And it's the game within the game of life. That's how you're going to find happiness. We talked about positivity earlier this week, and there was a great question posted in the comments about can positivity be a negative? And I know this individual very well, and he wasn't being facetious. That was a great question. That's a critical thinking question there. Positivity is great until it disconnects you from reality. There's a real dichotomy to this game, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't have it mastered. As I'm talking with you, this is kind of like a digital diary for me. This is how I learn as well. So, I'll start winding it down. I think I've been going on here a minute. I'm encroaching on Lansing right now, so I think I've probably been talking with you 20-25 minutes. Hopefully it's been 20-25 minutes you felt that it was well worth your time. So let's circle back here. Okay, let's talk about the targets I was trying to hit. Friday focus, Thursday thoughts. Okay, those takes no talents, those TNTs, everybody can do these. It doesn't matter who you are. You can do the takes no talent, showing up on time, being positive, having energy. And it's not like you just cracked a Red Bull kind of energy. I'm just talking like people vibe you. People understand like there's a quiet energy about you. They feel that electromagnetic pulse from your heart. They feel that you're just a person of high energy, of poise. you're coachable, you're teachable, you're adaptable. Those are the things that are going to get you further than any talent, you know. Sadly, I've seen it so much where people have extreme talent. They seem to lack the takes no talents because they've been talented their whole life. They've been told how great they are. They've been told they have it all figured out. And I feel bad for them to some extent because that just takes away from their ability to keep growing and becoming even better. I mean, my goodness, can you imagine you're extremely talented and you have extreme ownership of the takes no talents? I mean, you'd be unstoppable. And that's what becomes the elite athlete. That's what becomes the elite person in society. That's what becomes the 1%. Okay? So, takes no talents and adaptability. You know, like I just said, at Calvin, at the university that I'm blessed to coach at, you know, our fall is going to look very different. I'm sure my fall is going to look very different as an educator as well. Good. I think someday I'm going to look back at 2020 as a coach and as a teacher and say, man, that taught me a lot about myself. That got me to where I am now. We've talked about it before. Ed Milet once said that where we are today is an echo from where we were 90 days ago, or what we did 90 days ago. So what are you doing today? Okay, here we are, end of July. What you do today will echo August, September, October, almost to Halloween. Where do you want to be come Halloween? And even as I say that, I kind of get some goosebumps thinking, what am I going to be doing at come Halloween? Am I setting myself up for success? Am I giving myself every opportunity? And by doing that, we all grow. Those around me grow. My inner circle, my family, becomes better because I've chosen to adapt and grow as well. Okay? So again, this will be my final thought today. Think about who's in your inner circle right now. Think about the 5 people that you hang out with the most or you talk with the most. Okay? If you have 5 negative people in your life, you're going to be the 6th, right? If you're around 5 people who smoke, you're going to be the 6th. So just think about who you're surrounding yourself with. Surround yourself with people who are better than you. You should be the weakest link in your chain, right? I mean, you could always, you know, if you sprinted every day against 5 really slow people, you'd think you're fast because you just beat 5 really slow people. Okay, pick 5 people who are faster than you so you elevate your game. And that's tough, man. It's tough being in that state of mind, being in that flow state, because it's easier to be around those who don't challenge you, who don't challenge status quo. And you're not going to adapt if you're around people who just are complacent, people who all they want to do is, you know, binge watch Netflix, eat pizza. I mean, those things are fun every now and then, but I tell you what, watching Netflix and eating pizza tastes a whole lot better when I haven't done it every single day leading up to it. Maybe that's just me. I'm not here to judge, I'm just saying. Just a guy. So, take that into this weekend. Focus on that. If you like what I'm talking about, even if you just found, like, in this whole talk, 1 minute that you connected with, it's all worth it to me. Okay? So, if you could, share it out. Share out the link. Comment, like it, find the videos on YouTube, Sluggers Sports Academy. Subscribe to the channel so you get all the updated videos. Get alerts from when I post videos. And let's just continue growing this. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, man, if Ham can talk like this and do this kind of thing, and he's no guru or expert in this, maybe I can do this. Maybe I have a voice worth sharing. I hope so. All right, until I talk to you guys again, on behalf of Sluggers Sports Academy, keep on slugging. Enjoy the day. It's a beautiful one.